Hey there, Builder Blog. Zachary here, currently on an 8-hour flight to Boston to go visit Jamison Go and deliver a present. Now, I'm taking this time to think about the Sawblaze match and what went wrong. And it was not the sword. The sword actually reached the idler. We struck right next to it. With those forks, we were even getting under Jamison. The problem was the magnets. I thought I had the magnets tuned properly, but I did not catch that during my jackpot fight I shattered them. As you see here, we ran several tests in the test box, getting the magnet force just right to where it would hold the front of the robot down, but not allow us to flip out and go crazy. We didn't wheelie during the jackpot fight, but when we had our big collision with Jackpot, it shattered the magnets and it reduced the force. The robot actually got easier to drive after that hit, and it wasn't dragging as much while I chased Ace. This is what the magnets looked like before the fight, but after the Sawblaze match, when I opened it up to take a look, this was the shattered remains I found sitting inside my forks. They still put out a little bit of force, but nowhere near what was necessary. And rewatching the footage right here, I had a warning sign and I didn't catch it. And without the front magnets working properly, the robot was hopping and doing wheelies all over the place. And you can't do that when you're fighting an expert driver like Jamison. So we have welded the sword back together and autographed it. And now I'm trying to get it through TSA in the airport so I can take it to Boston. Hey Builder Blog. I'm here in Boston, getting ready to pay Jamison a visit, and I'm bringing him a present. Something I thought would be very obvious and easy to find, since when I was in California, no one else had a bag shaped like mine. But now, every other bag, since we're here in a place with snow, looks like a ski bag. So the giant overkill sword is proving much harder to find. Oh. There you are. Oh. Hallelujah. It's snowing. It's snowing. Jamison, I'm a stupid Californian. Why didn't you tell me it was snowing?
Oh, hello there. Welcome to the offices of Jamison Go and Justin J. Marple.
I wanted to give you something. And after getting permission from Christian Carlberg,
I wonder if they tried it out.
I think they might have. All right, you gotta zoom in. I didn't expect this. This is not how I packed this. It literally says the TSA inspected this. So I'm guessing they x-rayed and had questions.
You think they're any Battlebots fans in the TSA?
Possibly. When we see this on Instagram, a bunch of TSA agents waving this around, we now know what happened.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, I think we're going to need a little slash and burn to get through this. Alright.
Oh, I mean, if it's reusable, then we always try, right? So.
Exactly.
Oh, you did a pretty good job.
But
well.
Now you have a genuine piece of overkill and Skorpios. I have to admit, I had way too much fun with this thing.
It was a wow.
It's big, isn't it?
It's like, even as a builder of heavyweights, right? When people always say, "Oh, it looks so much smaller on TV." I mean, for robots that are really big, like Overkill and Nightmare, we still don't know exactly how to contextualize it, And this is big.
All right, Jamison, congratulations on winning the Battle of the Hammersaws, and you now get to find a place to mount the glorious thing.
I think that we can have. I mean, people love the chair fight. So like now that we both have swords, I mean, I think this would be kind of cool. I still think yours is going to be longer than ours because our arms set back a little bit. So.
You know, as derpy as everyone thought the sword was, it's incredibly fun to drive with it.
Like, I'm not... This looks so cool. The appeal of the sword. Okay, whatever. You can say whatever you want about combat effectiveness, but this is gonna look so cool.
Exactly. I did take a light out in my shop with it, so that is a real concern.
Wow. Oh, thank you so much. And I mean, this couldn't have been easy to bring this all the way. This is actually a lot thicker than it looks. I mean, you see this thing kind of bend around on TV, but it's got to be, you know, what is that, like an eighth or 3/16 of steel? That's actually really thick.
And
it's really stiff.
Surprisingly, he's using a type of spring steel. I went back and watched some of the Overkill matches, and a few times when Biohazard throws him into the wall, you can actually see this blade flex, and then it just instantly pops.
Wow.
It really is a giant spring. And I do have it from Christian. He is going to come out here some point, and we left him a nice big space right here where he's going to autograph the blade too. And so that's coming down the road.
Christian was definitely one of the builders that I idolized in the early Comedy Central. I think a lot of people probably share that sentiment as well. It'd be a huge honor to have his signature on this. And this piece also, Overkill, definitely characteristic for its kind of like the big go-kart wheels, the aggressive driving style, the kind of smash and bash. I mean, I think that's something that we both share near and dear to our hearts as our hammer saw robots. Definitely one of our favorites. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Absolutely. So I have to admit, for years, I have been trying not to copy stuff off your robot, but this season has finally convinced me. I'm so sick of the wheelies. I need to do what you've done and drop the arm to the ground. I have literally not been doing that, as all my teammates are like, you should do that. I'm like, no, it'll make us look more like Sawblaze and there'll be more confusion.
I appreciate that. I know that it's kind of been like a sticking point for our teams to we want to kind of create this identity. I know that we had like the lime green, and you had a different, like a blue.
We had jade.
Jade
was the color.
Yeah, and you distinctly changed to a blue to avoid that, and like I really appreciate those efforts. This is the season 3 Sawblaze arm, so it's a really cool piece. We keep it around, but a thing that people always forget, we gotta talk about how teams always learn from each other. We used to have the weapon motor on the arm. It used to be right here, literally. But, you know, when we saw our brother in Saw in season 2, they had the weapon motor actually mounted inside the chassis, and they used this sheave right here to transfer the motor power from inside the frame to the outside. And, you know, that came from Skorpios. So you remember those, you fans out there, we learn from each other. You know, every robot, we learn from each other and we make each other better. That's how we have a good show. Especially when we move to the Hammersaw architecture. If we put that weapon motor on the arm, it would bust itself after every hit, I'm sure. This was an extremely necessary change. So, thank you, Zach. And Orion. So everyone kind of borrows from each other, and you know, if that's what's got to be, that's what it's got to be. I mean, Skorpios still has a very distinctive look, regardless if the arm is in the air or if it drops down a little bit, a few more degrees. So, I think people that know Skorpios and know Sawblaze, it's not going to make a difference then.
I think we definitely have inspired a few people. We went from 2 hammer saws to 5 hammer saws.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Hammersaw Club, which I have here, has grown from 3.
From 3 to 5. And Al, you are a hammer saw. You can't tell me you're a power hammer. That's a hammer saw. And we do want to welcome Kraken to the club.
Yeah, Kraken and Doom. Yeah.
So they're slowly becoming more of us.
Welcome to the family.
All right, guys. So I have here an official Sawblaze Whiplash pack. And since everybody's getting stuff today, we're going to give this one away to one of our subscribers. So I was hoping you two would be willing to sign this. And in the comment section, guys, I want you to leave what you like most about Sawblaze, and Jamison will pick the best comment to receive the Sawblaze Whiplash Pack.
May the best comment win.
All right, Builder Blog. Remember, like, subscribe, and leave us a comment about what you like most about Sawblaze. This is Megatron, which is your 30-pound hammer saw that you compete at Norwalk and other small events at. Correct?
Yep, that's right. One of the things that's kind of contributed to Sawblaze's success is having that rapid iteration. So Battlebots is only once a year, right? So we want to test out ideas or things that are different. We're going to find something at Battlebots that we need to improve. We don't want to wait once per year and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on what could potentially be a mistake. So building it in the small scale and getting practice on that is one really effective thing that we've done on the team to test out those concepts. So Sawblaze and Megatron, they kind of go in this iteration cycle where once one of them competes, any observations or changes make it into the next one, and then so they kind of they stagger with each other on events. So Megatron, as it appears right now, this is what competed in the 2022 finals. So there's a few things that we learned from this season of Battlebots that have made it onto here, such as our replaceable tips, new arm construction a little bit, the blade geometry kind of thinned a little bit, and we put a lot of effort into the arm reliability, because that's always something that plagues the hammer saws. It's like that arm needs to work. It's responsible for the weapon delivery, it's responsible for the controllability and self-righting. It's got to work. So it's been heavily beefed up compared to what it used to be.
Well, I want you to know, I think I found the one robot that can beat Megatron. And I brought it with me. Are you ready to see this?
Oh.
Are you ready?
I thought you were going to say emulsifier, because that's exactly what happened in December.
I brought Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I think this is, I think Megatron's bet his match.
I agree. I mean, the Autobots, good always triumphs.
I've been dying to ask you, are you a Transformers fan, or did you just think Megatron sounded cool?
So the name for Megatron actually goes back way, many years ago. So my first robot ever was actually called Ron. And, it's like, you're a Harry Potter fan or something? It was actually named after my dad's coworker for his is a strikingly strong personality. And I mean that in the most endearing way, of course. It was named Ron, and it was like an SOB style dustpan catcher with an overhead attacking weapon. As you can tell, it seems to be an archetype that is near and dear to me. And that was a 3-pound robot that's been iterated on many times until I decided to finally, with the assistance of Charles helping me build my first 30-pound robot, just built a big version of that. So it was Megaron, which is really close to a transformer just threw in the T. It's Megatron now. That's why the name of the robot, the Ron, is always capitalized to kind of highlight that the origination of it back to Ron.